Hey everyone, Amber from the Vault here. Welcome back to another Fallout 4 settlement walkthrough. Now here's the deal, I may sound a little sick, I apologize about that, so I sound a little nasally right now. But we're going to go ahead and check out my, I would call it minimalist build of the castle here. Unfortunately, I do have that 0 kilobytes error that is still plaguing me, even though I've gone way back and tried to load way back in the past. Still having issues with corrupted saves here, but what I can tell you is that I was able to build here, just had to do a little bit less building than I would normally do. So we're going to go ahead and check it out. You'll see a little less building in some areas, and you can see where I really put most of my time. I love the look of the orange Pridwin. Sorry, just I love the way this game looks. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go inside. Of course, you can notice here right away, I have rebuilt the castle wall. So I did this in a couple different locations, but of course this is the one big major area, and you can see the old wall is still here. Let me show you that. So I went ahead and removed all of the loose brick that was here, but you can see the slope where you used to be able to kind of jump up here. That has been removed, so you could still jump up here if there was a hole there, but I went ahead and actually built an enclosed structure here and put a whole new opening. Now, I do not have Brahmin in my game. I have the mod installed Dogs Not Brahmin, so I don't need to worry about Brahmin coming in and out of my settlement, but this is definitely something you could do if you were looking to rebuild your settlement. Now, these are just pieces of the concrete. This is actually concrete here. All right, so there we go. That's the first part of the settlement here. Let's go ahead and actually go inside. So, oh, Preston Garvey coming to see us right away. So you'll notice right away that there's a little bit less done in the yard area here. Didn't do a lot here because my game was really starting to crash the more I tried to pack into this area. So there are some areas that have nothing and some areas that are a little bit more intense than others. Here you can see the back side of that reconstruction of the wall here. Let me go ahead and kind of show you here. So it's actually built into it there. So the first thing over here is actually a hunter's rack. This is a mod that you can get installed. What this does is assigning someone to this puts meat into your inventory as well as putting the fruits and vegetables that you're going to be growing through your farming activities. Over here is my little Brahmin area. This is where the Brahmin would go if there was one here. There isn't, but I went ahead and built one anyway. So we have a little bit of razagrain in here, just so something for the Brahmin to eat. And then we have the Brahmin bathtub, of course, that works as a trough. Never anything in it. It always shocks me that Bethesda didn't at least put some water in there. I mean, I know I'm on PS4, but come on, at least give me some fake water. Of course, we all know what that is. It's the Minuteman radio signal. Nothing built in this area here. You'll notice that right away. Again, trying to be really careful with the amount of things that I'm putting out here because I'm having issues with the game crashing by building too much. Little iBot pad here. You can see that I do have my Pip-Boy light on. I always try to put that on when I do these so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Built a gym in the settlement because we're trying to train new Minutemen recruits. Went ahead and used the Institute rug style. They remind me the most, or a little clipping here, but they remind me mostly of what you would see in a gym. My gym certainly has those black mats in it. Makes me think of that, so I went ahead and used those. Put a couple things in here. It's real small. The pommel horse is in here. Got the weights, that kind of stuff. I love these little vault signs. In fact, I'll turn this off real quick. I love the little posters, but just a little area that would make sense to me. If we're training Minutemen recruits, we're going to want to make sure that we're training them physically as well as mentally, so might as well have a gym. Coming over here, we're going to see our scrapping area. Now, there is actually only one scrapping station, like the legit metal station here. There is actually 3, though, in this room. So there's an invisible mat about right here. This invisible mat is for sweeping, and then there's another invisible mat over here for pen and paper. Went ahead and I always put just random stuff inside of my scrapping area. I like to think of it as these people have gone out, these scavengers have gone out, picked a bunch of stuff up, brought it back here, and they're going to process it here in the building. So that's why I always like to put just a lot of random junk in here. A lot of this was unlocked with USO or unlocked settlement objects, so definitely check that one out if you're looking for a lot of this kind of random, I don't want to say it's trash, but just, like random junk that you can sit around in your settlement. All right, so let's come out of here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to avoid the inside for now. We're going to go up top first. Now you're going to notice I added 2 ways to go up top here. So here's one, and this is also the second section of rebuilt wall here. If you come around the corner here, the next section of rebuilt wall is part of this as well. So we kind of built a little area here to put, me and my controller, I built a little area here so that you could actually come up. You can see just a little bit the hole that's still there. Obviously that's not filled in. PS4 does not have the opportunity to replace the castle walls like you would on PC or Xbox. So kind of here we have to do it ourselves if you want to replace the walls. I had a lot of fun doing it, but I'll be honest, it took me a long time, but I went ahead and added a couple different areas to move up. So you'll see if I come over here that there's the second one I added. Okay, so let's go ahead and go up. Now what you'll see right away is normally you would come up here on this little walkway here and you would go down and then come back up the other side. I went ahead and made it straight just because I figured this is way more useful, and then I can actually use the like little areas over here. I can actually place things. Right here, of course, I've placed a guard station. Come over here, I've actually gone over the pit that's usually here. This is where you would normally put your artillery. I went ahead and placed some castle style brick flooring in here so that I could turn it into a little bit of a gardening area. I like this. I call it my carrot circle. I have a couple carrot circles in this one and I like them. And then of course over here is the next section of rebuilt wall. You can see it from here. Again, just rebuilding that wall with whatever pieces I can. Come up over here, you're going to hit a lot more of the agriculture here at the castle. So a lot of agriculture here. Decided to do, we have all this space up here and it's all got soil on it, so there was no reason, here's another carrot circle, no reason not to stick a lot of our agricultural stuff up top here. It's out of the way, I don't have to mess with it, it's not cluttering up the yard. It used to be that I had all of this in the yard, and then I found that it was difficult for me to control all my settlers because they would get lost in all of my mute fruit trees. So I kind of like the idea that here it's a little bit different. All right, so continuing up top here, it's very barren up here for a reason. Again, having issues with the PS4 crashing, have to be pretty careful. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of stuff that I have up here. So just putting some invisible mats up here, putting very little turrets. You really don't need that much to kind of keep your settlement safe around here. It's not that big of a deal. Just having a little bit of something up here is kind of helpful. So again, took out the artillery that's here. I don't really like the artillery, so I did remove that. All right, we're going to move a little bit quicker over here. Again, you can see I couldn't quite get all the pieces here to line up with the actual kind of break here, the kind of breach of this area, so I had to use some different pieces there. We're actually going to jump off the side here, and what we're going to do is we're going to run down here and take a look at the second entrance to the castle. So of course there are two entrances to the castle. This is the back side. This tends to be actually where I get attacked from the most. I don't know about anybody else. So I put a lot more of our turrets here. And then there's also a little guard station here. I also installed a couple sets of doors. A little guard station here. This is from vaults, of course, having the little security station. And then went ahead and put my vault population computer controls there. Another door here. And then we're right back out to the yard. So let's go ahead and go inside. We're actually going to start by going inside over here between the Brahmin pen as well as our hunting area. We're actually going to go past this real quick and go into. So here in pod A we have 3 different bunk beds. So there are 6 beds per pod with the exception of 1 pod, which you'll see when we get there. Kind of looking here, I didn't do a ton of personalization here, again, because I'm having issues with the PS4. Definitely still trying to work that out. Done everything the 0 kilobytes error tells you to do. Still working on it, but definitely tried to do a little bit of personalization. Just give each of the areas within the pod a little bit of personality. Now here's the deal. If you have to live in a barracks, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be awful. But these Minutemen are risking their lives, and I think that we should at least give them kind of a nice place to sleep. So I wanted to go ahead and build little areas here that were a little bit easier and a little bit nicer for them to sleep in. All right, so let's come around. So now what we're looking at is both the armor shop and the armor workshop. So of course we have our armor bench over there, but this is a rug here that actually allows me to have this salesperson here. Now this is the same as the fast travel rug, which let me run out real quick and show you what the fast travel rug looks like. It's the exact same rug as that fast travel rug. What it does is it allows them to go ahead and stand there, and then I put another rug on top of it to disguise that that rug is there. So just an invisible job rug. Absolutely love those, very handy. Workshop decorations pack for all of the different armor pieces here. This saves me having to place them all with workshop decorations, or excuse me, with OCD Decorator, but more importantly, it's less taxing on the PS4. Added a door here. It didn't make any sense to me that these, when you come out to kind of these circles here where the artillery would be, it didn't make any sense to me that these didn't have doors. That looks like it would be horrible during a rainstorm. This would just flood right away. So I went ahead and put doors there to hopefully stop a little bit of that flooding. So this is just a chemical area. This is just where you're going to make chems. I did not include this in the clinic area. You'll see the clinic later, but this is all workshop decorations pack. Again, saving me from having to place a lot of things here. It's really helpful to have that workshop decorations pack. What's cool about these signs, though, right here, that protect your hands and forgotten meters, measure no radiation, those actually come out of a mod called Posters of the Commonwealth. It's a little difficult to use the first time you ever try to use it, so it's going to take a little bit of a learning curve, but I definitely recommend it. I use that here as well. It's a fantastic mod. It's really helped me a lot. All right, so looking over here, we have another rug that's disguised by a Creation Club rug. Just another little, item that you can stick up here if you're interested in having your, sorry, McCready walked past me and then I noticed in the background that Guns and Bullets disappears if you do this. Sorry, it threw me off. If you just want to have your shopkeepers be a little bit more, free-flowing, you don't want them to be stuck behind some kind of desk or some kind of table. A lot of times I use an invisible rug, but those rugs are not invisible. So again, just another area. We have our bench here. We have our salesperson here. Just gives us the opportunity to kind of combine two different things at once. So let's go into pod B. This is the second, of course, of our sleeping pods. Now coming in here, you're going to notice right away there is another door here. This is actually a glitch rug, which allowed me to kind of nestle in a door frame here, and then the door clips in. If you look down here, this is where you would normally come if you were at the castle and you needed to do the whole castle thing where you have to go down in the basement and all of that. Sorry about the cut there. All right, so this is just the other little pods. So we can go down there and deal with all the stuff that we need to do with the castle. If you want to go into the bottom there and pick up all the stuff that's down there, that of course was originally to get into the armory, but I didn't feel like having those open made any sense. You would want those behind some kind of door. You don't want somebody waking up in the middle of the night and accidentally falling down the steps. So I went ahead and threw those doors there. Again, not a ton of personalization in these areas just because you have to be very careful with the PS4, but I did want to build these little nooks or these little pods just to make it a little bit easier for all of our folks who live here to feel a little bit like they're at home rather than living in a big giant barracks. So here is the person who actually does our food and beverages. Now this is kind of a cafeteria style, but I wanted to go ahead and throw our actual store in there as well. Those posters on the wall are from that Posters of the Commonwealth. These things were all placed with Workshop Decorations pack. This is a functional stove. You can use it for cooking. Of course, this is going to replace normally the fire cooking that you would do in the game here. The only thing in here that is not available unless you have Creation Club is this refrigerator. Just gives you a full refrigerator. All of these items, though, otherwise are either Workshop Decorations pack or OCD Decorator. All right, so let's go here. This is another Workshop Decorations pack. Just threw a couple tables in there. Saves me from having to place all of that stuff individually. Now to my favorite. My favorite in every settlement is always the general store or the trader. I love just putting random junk all over the walls, random stuff. I love the random bits and bobs shelves. This is all going to be, Workshop Decorations pack is going to be a big deal for this stuff. Definitely a fantastic mod to check out. I love just sticking stuff all over the place though for general and store traders. Definitely my favorite part of building anything. All right, so let's keep going to the clothes. So if you've watched any of my other builds, you may be aware that I am a big fan of putting my mannequins elevated. So I did do 4 mannequins here. I like even numbers, so I have 2 male and 2 female. And you can see here he's on top of one of the cafe tables. Otherwise, we have items from Workshop Decorations pack as well as another store rug. As you'll notice here, she is miming holding a gun. That she does not have, so I'm not sure why she's not actually holding her gun. She does have a pistol in her inventory, so I'm not sure why she's not holding it, but it doesn't bother me because at least I have someone who's kind of there. Again, another rug placed over top of it. McCready really wants to cover her up. Another rug placed over top of it to kind of disguise it. So let's go into the clinic now. This is our clinic area. Like I said, our clinic is separate from our chem area. Usually I put the chem in the clinic area. Decided to go ahead and separate those this time. So this gurney actually counts as a 26th bed here. So it does actually count as a bed, but of course for me it's more of the decoration item. Workshop Decorations pack, all of those things in the background. Another random, I'm just going to tell them I'm not interested. Another random rug here hidden by a Minuteman rug. All right, so let's go into pod C. So we are almost done with our sleeping arrangements here. So again, one of those areas that tried to make a little bit of a section. Each pod's kind of broken down into 3 specific areas, gives it just a little bit more of a homey feeling rather than feeling like you live in an area. Oh my gosh, guys, don't crowd me. Instead of feeling like you live in an outright barracks, at least it has a little bit more of a homey feel, was my hope. I feel like these people have already survived this long in an apocalypse. Why are we forcing them to live with beds in rows, which is what my original one certainly looked like. And here's pod D. Pod D is the only one that only has 1 bed in it. Originally, I wanted this to be Preston Garvey's room. He ended up sleeping with everybody else, and I thought, good, because this is going to be my room now. Workshop decorations pack, lots of Minutemen feelings, and again, getting away from the idea that this would be a wonderful place for rain to just come right down and go in. We're going to go ahead and throw a door on there. Again, this is going to be a glitch rug, and then I kind of glitched in here, just placed in a random piece of the concrete door that's going to kind of create a door here so we can actually snap the doors in and out so we don't have to line up weird doors. There's also a door that doesn't fit in there, like there isn't one in the game. And this comes out to one of my favorite things, the circle of carrots. So we'll go ahead and come out here. Only one area left here, so we'll go ahead and check out the very last pod, which is pod E. In order for us to check pod E, though, we have to go ahead and come back out. Now, if you remember when you played the castle to begin with, you make your way down to the armory, and that's what you go ahead and open up. So you open up that armory, and then from there you can go ahead and kind of use the different things that are in there. You do that right here through this door here. And of course, the button here actually closes the armory door. Opens the armory door, that type of thing. So we're going to go ahead and go back into the last pod here. I've cleared everything out of the armory, and this has become our pod E. Now again, I spent most of my time as far as decorating in the pods just because I thought they felt a little bit more to me like interesting areas, and I wanted to really give them kind of a homey feel. Workshop decorations pack a lot of this stuff. The 2 pictures there being Creation Club, kind of going around here, some more Creation Club stuff. Also some workshop decorations pack with the terminal there, and of course the bunk beds as always. All right, so that's it. That is the end of our tour here at the castle. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. If you like this build, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. You can always get a hold of me here, but you can also get a hold of me over on Twitter at AmberFrmThVault, spelled the same way as here. There's no O in from and no E in the. Otherwise, on your screen should be popping up a playlist of all of my Fallout 4 videos, as well as a picture of my big dumb face. If you click that, that will subscribe you to the channel, let you know every time I get a video. If you click the bell icon, there should also be a picture, or I should say a video on your screen that YouTube thinks you'd like. If there's a settlement you'd like to see a rebuild of, again, understanding that this is very much a minimalist one, I usually do much cooler ones, please let me know. I'd love to know what you guys would like to see here on the channel. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I'll see you all in the next one.